Well, hello there. Welcome. This is already a shitty start. Welcome to something made by Sony Computer Entertainment America. Not really. This was a game developed by Sony Computer Entertainment Cambridge, or just Sony Cambridge Studio, I think it's called. Whatever. Anyway, this is the history of Gallowmere. So, obviously, what this is Medieval for the PlayStation 1. I'm just going to let this go, though.
In the kingdom of Gallowmere, a sorcerer named Zarok. This arrogant, pitiless man hated his fellow citizens for their simple and peaceful ways. So he raised an army of demons and set out to take the realm for his own. The king's champion, Sir Daniel Fortescue, led the militia into battle against this unholy horde. Songs are still sung of how he spearheaded the charge deep into the accursed multitude, how demons fell before him like wheat before the scythe, and how at last, though mortally wounded, he destroyed the sorcerer utterly. Fortescue went down in history that day as the hero of Gallowmere, and a time of peace began, which was to last for 100 years. And then, the sorcerer returned.
So that's that's the written history of Gallowmere and Sir Daniel Fortescue, our main character. However, it's a load of bullshit. He never defeated Zarok. He never fought in the war. I mean, he did fight in the war, but, well, he fucking died instantaneously. And the king of Gallowmere just decided to write down in history that Sir Daniel Fortescue was this amazing knight who was a badass, but he was a coward, and he got struck down by the first arrow, hitting him in the eyeball, and he died. And here's Zarok here. So this is 100 years later after that war that happened that Sir Daniel died in. And now here's Zarok about to do something. We're about to find out what his new plan is here. So I have a history with this game, and its sequel, also on the PlayStation 1. I first played this game in form of a demo on a demo disc for the PlayStation 1 when I first started playing video games, back when I was about 5 years old or so. And this game in particular really stuck... Whoops! This game in particular really stood out to me. This is terrifying. But anyway, this game really stood out to me as being really unique. Now, of course, at the time I had not played very many other games yet, but this still really stood out to me and instantly got me interested in things like, you know, like the name would suggest, medieval type settings, and, you know, past medieval culture and weaponry and knights and armor, castles, and all that kind of stuff. Which is really cool, but like this very specific kind, like with this like undead stuff and like zombies, and Sir Dan himself as this cool like skeleton undead knight, you know, and all this stuff, magic. Oh, I just shat my pants. But yeah. So anyway, I got really hooked into this game deeply. Like, I wanted to be Sir Dan. Like, I made it like a mask that looked like his face and like a fake sword and stuff. Yeah, I got pretty obsessed with it. But here we are now, and the goal here is going to be a full playthrough, which I actually just finished on my own on the PS3. I popped this game in and I was like, you know what, I haven't played this in forever, let's beat it. And I did. There he is, Sir Dan. But yeah, so I did that recently, just finished last night actually. I beat the last boss and it was fantastic. So I decided it would be really fun, I think, to do a LP of it, full playthrough, to record and share some of my thoughts and memories and whatnot on it. But we're going to start a new game here, and it's going to be fun. I've always loved these FMV cutscene videos. I thought they're really well done. I'm not going to say they still hold up today, because, you know, not really, but the art style they're going for is really good stuff. Here we go. This is what I was just talking about. And there's Sir Dan. And we're ready to go. So yeah, that's how he lost his eye. There he is.
It has risen again, Sir Daniel Fortescue. See? The hero of Gallowmere who fell at the first charge. The fog of war and the shrouds of time conspire to turn the arrow fodder into the saviour of the day. But we knows better.
I love how he talks.
Let it alone. Fate has given it a second chance. A chance to forget the ignoble truth. A chance to defeat Zarok and live up to the legend. We hopes it does well.
So these gargoyles have a pretty unique way of speaking, but in terms of like disrespect or whatever, because, you know, Sir Dan is written down in history as like this like amazing badass knight who took down Zarok and his champion and all that and won the war basically like all on his own pretty much. But nobody respects him because they know the truth. And basically what this is, if you couldn't tell already, you know, on what one of the gargoyles just said, this is basically his chance to now kind of live up to the legend and redeem himself and become a true hero by actually defeating Zarok this time, because he's kind of the only one who can. So yeah, we're not going to read all these books, but there are definitely some that we should check out because they got some like lore type stuff that's actually pretty funny. There's a lot of good humor in this game. That is actually pretty funny, and it doesn't try that hard to be funny. Unlike the unfortunate remake that they did on the PSP back in around 2005 or 6 or so. I really don't like that version. It's a remake of this game, and they try to make it like way too fucking silly, and it was not good. I mean, gameplay-wise, like, it played alright, but stylistically and like the writing and the changes that they made were I did not like. See, this one like has a sense of humor and some comedy elements to it, but for the most part, it's a really atmospheric, moody, like gothic, medieval setup. But anyway, so we picked up a few things here. We got a shield, a copper shield, which is the weakest one. We also got our small sword, which is your first basic sword, and I also picked up some throwing daggers, which you can toss. It's a long-range weapon. They're pretty weak, but you know, gotta start somewhere. And then that green bottle I just picked up here that went into my life bar, as you can see up there. Ooh, music disappeared. That is actually basically another full life bar, essentially. So if you die, if you drain all your health, it'll replenish your health bar automatically to full. And we're gonna get multiple of those over time, so yeah. But anyway, here's Sir Dan. We can jump, we can run, as I've been doing. This is your inventory where you change weapons and equipment, and You can guard. There are two different ways to attack. There is the main attack, which is your X button, where it's just whatever. And then if you hold down the square button, you can charge up an attack and usually do something cool like that. So yeah. And these runes, you just put them in these hands and they act as keys, as you can see here. And yeah, that's pretty much it in terms of explanation. So now we're just going to go ahead and continue on through the game. You track down Zarek by retracing his diabolical odyssey through Gallowmere. You can spot the exits from the area by looking out for his stinking trail of magic slime, which apparently this is. I don't know how that's slime, but, you know, whatever. But that's that. That's Dan's Crypt, and now we're going on to our actual adventure. I really like this world map system here. It's pretty good. And we'll go on to the first actual level, the Graveyard. So this is going to be fun. But anyway, yeah, I love this game. It's fantastic. It definitely has some flaws. However, those flaws I'm hoping will be fixed, and the game will be expanded upon and done very, very well in its remaster that they've announced that they're doing for the PlayStation 4, which I'm incredibly excited for. So that is going to be awesome, and I might just go ahead and do a playthrough of that too once I get that, whenever that comes out. Supposedly this year, but anyway, real quick, I just want to point out this whole plot and everything is dedicated to Fortescue himself. Again, going along with the fake history and whatnot. Welcome back to your beloved Gallowmere. The stinking dead have risen up to dance with the lifeless living, and they want to do it over your dead body. Well, we can't have that. So that was a basic zombie. They're, you know, like the Goomba here. They're pretty weak. Easy to deal with. And real quick, I should mention, if you noticed, I'm killing enemies here. And they're releasing like these little lights that kind of fly up. That's basically their souls. And you can see that like cup, that chalice in the upper right corner there with a percentage. What happens is you kill a certain amount of enemies that raises your percentage of your chalice when you collect souls. And what you get then is you can collect a chalice in the level. And what that does is it lets you gain access to a place called the Hall of Heroes at the end of the level. And what happens then is you exchange that chalice that you got basically for new weapons or a life bottle or whatever. So it's extremely handy, and it's definitely encouraged that you get those throughout every level. They're not hard to get either. And this, as you probably saw, replenishes my health. They run out, though. Don't let the zombies get you down. 10 those wounds by stepping in this fountain of rejuvenation. Yes. Okay, so we got the key we need. Alright. Remember, nothing remains hidden under the gaze of an angel. Yeah. Typically when I play, I don't even read most of these books. Because I already know what to do, but... Anyway, but that's basically the answer to this puzzle here. Now, what's really weird about this is a really weird angel statue, and when I was a kid, this thing really genuinely creeped me out, mainly because of the head. Like, I don't know what this head is supposed to be. It's fucking terrifying to me. Some people might say, like, oh, it looks like a kind of like a golden blueberry cobbler pie or some shit, but I don't know, it's really unsettling to me, this statue, and it always has been when I first played this when I was a kid. But anyway, here is the Chalice of Souls. It's translucent now because we didn't get the full percentage yet, but once we do, we can grab it. And here's this puzzle. Basically, you turn the angels back to the gate you want to open, and it'll open. So we're gonna move that back this way. There we go. Oh boy. But yeah, one thing I definitely love about this game a lot is the soundtrack. The soundtrack to this game is absolutely phenomenal in every way. The composition is amazing. It's like this extremely atmospheric and moody and memorable like orchestra. And the thing is, this entire soundtrack is completely synthesized too, which is even more impressive. Because this just sounds incredible. And we're gonna hear some even better songs later. Oh, there we go. Got 100% for the chalice, so we can go snag that. Alright. Alright. Ugh, sorry, a little tired. But the Hall of Heroes awaits. So, yeah. So you're all set once you grab that. You can just go ahead and finish the level. Okay. We're almost done, too. Some of these levels don't last too long. Some of them have some pretty cool gimmicks. But yeah. We're going to try one of these charged. There we go. Now, these gargoyles are different from the other ones. They don't talk shit to us. They don't talk at all, actually. But what we can do here is they provide services and supplies. Right now, all we can do is buy more throwing daggers, which I'm not going to waste money on because I never use those. Okay. So really, I don't have to kill any more of these enemies because all that really does is, you know, get you more percentage for your chalice to get that. But since I have it already, don't need it. You'll find more shields along the way because how the shields work in this game is as you defend with them, the number decreases, and that's a durability. Once it runs out, it breaks. What have you got to say?
Tread softly. Zarok awaits beyond these gates. The Master meets with the demon from the mausoleum, hatching plots of purest evil. Forgotten nobodies would be wise to make themselves scarce.
Well, that's me, I guess. And the hand was coming along for the trip, too. So here we go, to the Hall of Heroes. I love this place. I think it's extremely atmospheric and really cool. Especially just the ambient track that plays here. Oh, but wait.
Welcome to the Hall of Heroes, where the bravest warriors from history spend eternity, feasting, singing, and arm wrestling. If they think you're worthy enough, you may be able to persuade them to give you a new weapon.
That's the idea. So, but yeah, the track that plays here is just amazing. It's just like, there's like this light, medieval like music playing, doors opening, plates clattering, people talking, arrows being shot, laughter. It's just really atmospheric that makes you think like you're totally missing out on all these heroes like hanging out with each other and having fun, and you can't see any of that because you're not a real hero. In fact, this whole Hall of Heroes is just filled with these statues of these heroes throughout history. And what happens is when you come here, you basically just stand on this little chalice block in front of them, and you talk to them and they'll give you a new weapon or whatever. So the first one we have here is this guy named Canny Tim.
Captain Fortescue, it's me, Canny Tim. Does the battle go well? How I wish I could fight at your side again, sir. But hold, you could take my crossbow. It's got rapid fire and you can ricochet the darts off walls to shoot around corners. I used it at the Battle of Gallowmere. After you were slain, I shot Zarok's champion, Lord Kardok, a clean kill through the eye at some 1,000 yards.
Yes.
Not that there's anything clever about shooting someone in the eye, sir.
Oh, goodbye, sir.
And there we go. And we get the crossbow. The crossbow is fantastic, and just in terms of a long-range weapon. It's not the strongest, but it's definitely a good starting point. Much better, in my opinion, than those throwing daggers. But we're not going to use that yet. Hold off on that. And then you leave. Also, you're not able to go upstairs in the Hall of Heroes until you get more, a certain number of chalices. Chalices. And then it lets you get up there to more statues. But yeah, eventually we'll be getting some pretty cool fucking weapons.